We're back in the Lake District for our second weekend of fell bagging. We're still on book 1, the Eastern Fells, and it's about 45 kilometers. We got Helvellyn and a few, well, quite a lot of other ones. We parked at Wainwright, a little lay-by. We came up Thursday night last night, had dinner by Ellswater.
Oh, it was beautiful.
Sure it was. We slept in the car and then had breakfast again by Ellswater, and here we are in
at the base of Helvellyn.
Yeah, in this valley, heading up to this tarn to get the first bag of the day.
Woo! We're walking towards Grisedale Tarn, passing Ruthwaite Lodge, once leased by the Sheffield University Mountaineering Club in the early 1950s and restored from a dilapidated state. After falling out of use and being burned down, it was rebuilt again in 1993 by the Ellswater Outward Bound School. The doors are locked.
So 2.5 hours in, we're 9 kilometers. The plan was to actually drive up last night and camp somewhere along Grisedale Tarn just there. But that would have taken us 2.5 hours, and we arrived, I think, 12 last night.
Yeah, so it would have been 2 a.m.
Yeah.
We would have been eating our burgers.
Which, I'm very happy we done like this. And yeah, we've summarised 2 hours later. Good.
Yeah, that just wouldn't have worked.
So last time, I think it was maybe like 3-4 weeks ago, we obviously done the Fairfield Horseshoe. That's Fairfield right up there. And actually, I'm pretty sure the hike we done from Glenriding to Grisedale Tarn right here is part of the coast to coast walk as well, which me and Katrina will be experiencing one day in the future.
We're going to stash our bags here, head up Sandal, and then after that we're going to grab our bags and head up Dollywaggon Pike.
That's right.
And that is the first bag of the day, Sandal, not saddle like we keep on saying.
We got saddle now, heading to the bags, but the next one, Dollywaggon Pike, the walk doesn't look very inviting. There's not much of a path, so it's going to be quite fun. And good news, well, on the last time we done the fell bagging, we forgot our tent pegs, so we had to cowboy camp. Didn't have any portable charger, had minimal water, and I forgot what the other one. Oh, I had no lunch. This time we've got all of them, but Katrina's forgot our trekking poles, which means we're going to have one each, which ain't too good, but it's better than one of us having nothing, I suppose. Shortly after that, we'll be up at Helvellyn as well.
On the way up Sandal, we pass and greet a solo, middle-aged woman with bright pink hair. On the way down, we fall into conversation and ask if she's also working her way through the Wainwrights. She nods, so I ask her how many she's done so far. She hesitates, looks a little flustered, and says quietly, almost apologetically, "Just one." Katrina and I smile and warmly congratulate her on her first summit. We walk with her for a while, chatting about her plans and future routes, glad to share that small moment with someone just beginning her own journey.
We've met young curious children who dart around the summits with boundless energy, already close to completing all the fells before they've even hit their teens. And we've met slow-moving grey-haired wanderers just beginning their journey, steady and deliberate in their pace, savouring each step and each view, as if in no rush to tick the next peak off the list. It doesn't matter how old you are or how fast you move, it's the love for the lakes and their views that draws us out. That shared passion keeps us active, inspired and connected with the wonderful like-minded souls we meet along the way. We've just done Nethermost Pike, we're heading up Helvellyn now. We're gonna sit in a little wind shelter that we remember from last time when we headed up there. Have some noodles for lunch, some snacks, like we've got some trail mix, which is nice, dates, and then, yeah, see? We've got so many good snacks. And then continue with fell bagging.
There's Trident Edge right there.
Just made myself a coffee.
On the highest peak within Wainwright's Book 1, Eastern Fells, we stopped to cook some noodles and continued reading Wainwright's handwritten notes, admiring his knowledge and illustrations. It wasn't until after the hike we realised we hadn't actually bagged Nethermost Pike. We thought we had. We thought we touched the cairn very close to the summit, but hadn't actually reached the official top. We'd mistaken the cairn for the peak. We nearly made it. And then we went right back to the main path, to Helvellyn. It didn't help that I also pinned the peak in the wrong spot on the map also.
After discovering this, we double checked our progress from the previous weekend and realised we made the same mistake with 2 other fells on that route. High Raise, High Heartside Dodd, and Hart Crag. But what can we do? Lessons learned. Approaching Helvellyn from the south allowed us to spot a plaque celebrating a John Lemming. After a few drinks at a London dinner party, John Lemming, chairman of the Lancashire Aero Club, came up with a wild idea. Land a plane on the summit of a mountain for publicity. With the help from Avro and test pilot Bert Kinkler, they modified an Avro Go Spot and chose Helvellyn as their target. After weather delays and mechanical issues, including emergency landings, they made their final attempt on December 22nd, 1926. Using strong headwinds and skillful flying, Lemming landed just yards away from Helvellyn's summit cairn.
With no official witness, they found a lone hiker to certify the landing. Taking off was the real challenge, however. They powered into the wind and flew over the edge above Red Tarn. After a few terrifying seconds, they gained enough airspeed and the plane began to climb, safely returning to base. This stunt made headlines nationwide, though some had worried that this would bring planes into the peaceful Scottish mountains, disturbing their solitude forever. This path here is Swirral Edge, a popular scramble to or from Helvellyn.
We are needing to bag these ones over here, but first we need to head northeast, going down Swirral Edge for 2 more fells and then back up to Helvellyn to continue on north.
I remember after my first scramble, I swore I would never do anything like that again with a big pack on. It felt like if the wind caught it just right, it could throw you off balance completely. But now, with a bit more experience under our belts, we take it slower and focus on keeping 3 points of contact on the tougher sections.
Just came down Swirral's Edge, forgot how much of a scramble that actually was. Bit difficult with packs on, but we made it, we survived. We just found a little hill, we're gonna hide our bags, now have a bag drop. We're gonna head up there to Cat's Eye Cam. Then after that, I got a bit of a trek into Birkhouse Moor. And we're going back up to Helvellyn. And then going along, all these ones behind us. On foot chat?
Yeah.
I thought this was Birkhouse Moor. Nope. Just a can. Gotta keep on pushing. Yeah.
We reunited with our bags and began the climb up Swirral's Edge.
The whole time we were quite paranoid that someone would take our bags or the cameras or our water or whatever, but
No, I was thinking someone's going to kick them.
yeah, I also
Down the
thought
hill.
that. Luckily it was all good, but since we returned to the bags, I don't know, my energy has just gone. I'm drained, feel quite faint. We're drinking a lot, we've got quite a lot of water. I think we had 3 litres to begin with and we've, I don't know, probably drank 1.5 litres already, maybe 2. We're eating, we've got some electrolytes, but yeah man, energy's quite low. Kat said she was alright, but now she's saying she's feeling the same.
I've seen him faint on the way out that night. They were like plodding along and just finding somewhere to camp now.
Yeah.
And if we get some fells, we get some fells. If we don't, we don't.
Yeah, sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
You can always wake up early for sunrise and see how that goes.
Well, yeah, it depends.
We're gonna
Sunrise 4:30 again.
just gonna rest up here for a bit and then carry on with the fells. So we've literally just walked from up there where Helvellyn is. That was where we was chilling, saying that we've got a few more left, and yeah, we just done a decline. It's a tiny bit of an incline, and we just thought, let's just rest up here.
perfect spot. We've got such a nice view of Fellmere.
Yeah.
It's flat, and all the other spots we've seen are super stony, whereas this spot isn't. So yeah, we're stopping here so we don't risk it if we carry on.
Yeah, the floor's a bit spiky, so we kind of just got a sleeping pad. I don't know if you see it. Sleeping pad out. Just laying on top. It's not inflated, but yeah.
So relaxing.
But honestly, the views are 10 out of 10. So Fellmore's right there, and I don't know if you can see it, but Durham Moor is off in the distance there as well. And look at all of these peaks we're looking at. Started to feel a bit of rain, so decided to set the tent up. So we got a tent from Z-Pack. There was a bit of a hole in bug net, so I'm just gonna, I've been meaning to do it for ages, but I'm gonna sew it up right now. That's all we need. Alright, here's everything. Perfect. There we go. Whoa. It's 9 o'clock and we're going to attempt to sleep. We came inside the tent quite early because it started to rain and we didn't want to get our downs wet. And the sun went behind the clouds, and literally as soon as we agreed to go to sleep, the sun has now came out. So yeah, we're going to attempt to sleep, but how soon we'll fall asleep I have no idea. The sun is going to set in about like 50 minutes. So yeah.
5-0.
5-0.
Oh.
The early morning sun, rising just after 4:30, casts a golden glow across the fells, and we soak in the quiet beauty of the hills before the world fully wakes up. We're pleasantly surprised by how active the fells are at this hour, though not quite as busy as the final hour in our tent when a steady stream of hikers passes by on their way to a sunrise summit.
Just packed up and we're on our way to Nethermost Pike now, during sunrise, which is beautiful.
Yeah.
Look at that over there. So nice. So we've got Nethermost Pike today, and then I believe 7 more.
Yeah, that's right. It's 8 today, and 6 yesterday, I think, and 8 today, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. So it should be a good one. We've done 22 kilometres yesterday, and we've done about 60% of the elevation gain that we have of the overall trip, which is good. So only 40% left today. So it shouldn't take as long as yesterday, but we'll see.
Had an alright sleep. We realised we were so bummed out, we just crashed at the first flat spot we thought we saw. And then when it actually came to sleep, we realised it was on a slope, and we kept on having to put a pad up, kept sliding down. But yeah, it was alright. It's about it's about 4:40 right about now. And we was hearing people, again, we was about 10 metres from the park. We was hearing people ascend Helvellyn from about 2 hours before sunset. We're only about like 15 minutes from the top.
2 hours before sunrise.
Yeah, my bad. And we also realised when we got into the tent yesterday, well, we've got a bit of a theory. The reason why we felt so bad yesterday is Katrina ended up looking like a squashy. I did want to record it in the morning, but it's kind of settled down a bit. But yeah, both of us got burnt. So we don't know if it was sunstroke, but the sun definitely drained a lot of our energy. So which is why I woke up a bit more earlier today to kind of get a majority done without being in the heat of the sun. Another bag drop. We think we got about 6-10 kilometers. Got 3 peaks over this way. We're climbing back here. I think maybe heading along that way down into Glenride back to the start. So it's early. Hopefully no one is gonna be taking up eggs.
We stash our heavy packs between some rocks on the plateau of Stybarrow Dodd, taking only a half-empty bottle of water and our trekking poles. With the weight off our backs, we set off feeling light and free, heading towards Watson Dodd, Great Dodd and Clough Head.
We pass many tents this morning and make sure to stay quiet, letting others enjoy their final moments of peace in the warmth of their tents. Part of me wants to wake them up. They're all missing out on such a beautiful sunrise. But then I remember all the loud voices that passed our tent, and the people who kept shining their head torches directly at us, lighting up our whole interior like a lantern. So instead, we move on quietly, appreciating the stillness they're still wrapped in.
With those 3 bagged, we retrace our footsteps, cutting across the flanks of the peaks to take a more direct route back to our packs.
Just on the detour, there was 3 fells in total, one of which was Great Dodd, the other one was Clough Head. Clough Head was quite out of the way, so we've just done that one. Now there's a 5-kilometre hike back to Stybarrow Dodd, I believe, where we're hoping to reunite with our bags and cook up some breakfast, which we're very much looking forward to.
We are indeed.
Both of us feeling very drained like yesterday when we returned back to the bags. The plan was for us to have breakfast, which we got eggs and bread, but I don't know, my body's just not really feeling eggs, so just shared 3 oranges. Trina had some salt tablets that she gave me, and we're gonna have some isotonic and orange juice. Wow.
You make that look so easy.
Easy. Only got about 8 kilometers left. I think 2 or 3 more fells. The majority is all downhill. I think we only got 150 meters incline with 8 kilometers left to go.
Ooh, that's my bread.
Hey. It's all right.
Right?
All right, we've got 1 more fell left and about 3 kilometers until we get to the car. We're both so drained. I don't know what it is, probably the sun.
Sorry.
But yeah, we're taking it very slow. Every opportunity we get to sit down, we're taking it. Very hot.
The last fell we're trying to catch is Glen Riding Dow, and our car is in Glen Riding, so it's the perfect finish. Oldswater Lake is right next to where we parked, so we're going to sit down there. We're going to have a look online at the last 3 fells of book 1 to see if we can create a route or to see if we have to drive to each one, and then we're going to make our decision for what to do for the rest of the weekend once we've got that information. But yeah, really fun weekend. But yeah, like Malik said, absolutely drained. I believe it's the sun, in his case more than my case, but I definitely believe because Malik's been sunburnt, he's got a mild case of sunstroke, even though he doesn't want to admit that because he's from Tunisia and Tunisians don't get burnt.
For For the first time on this whole Wainwright journey, we found ourselves surrounded by bracken and overgrown foliage spilling over into the path. Our original plan was to try and complete book 1 in just 2 weekends. We thought we only had 3 fells left, and after some research it was possible to bag them in a single afternoon. But truthfully, neither of us was feeling up to it. We started driving towards home and had a shower at a local gym within the lakes, and then spontaneously decided to stay one more night and finish the final 3 fells the following day on the Sunday. That was the plan until we checked the forecast. A thunderstorm was expected over the next 36 hours, so we made the call just to continue heading home instead.
We did it. We bagged every single fell, which was in total.
I don't know, 33 maybe? I'm not sure. I don't know.
You can tell he's got more energy than the other one.
Yeah.
33 fells bagged over this weekend, we believe.
However many's in book 1, take away 3. So it could be like 32, could be 30.
Just got a little descent to the car here, maybe a road walk. And then we're just going to chill at the lake until we figure out our plans.
And have a dip.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll see about that. I probably would, but him,